Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Let's kick it off and go with Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, how are you?
Living well, darling.
I just wanted to tell you how wonderful I think your whole program is. I've been doing your diet for about 6 months. I've lost about 28 pounds now.
Wow, that's great.
And I feel wonderful.
That's great.
So it really is worth letting go of all that junk food to feel good. So I was telling Tony, it really is worth it. And when I drive by McDonald's now, I don't even notice the restaurants, actually.
Isn't that amazing?
Because you're not even tempted, because I don't even have those cravings anymore. So. At
all. That's great news, Vanessa. Thanks for sharing that. How can I help?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a friend that has a sciatica problem. She's 83 years young.
Okay.
And it's in her left hip, and she had it last summer, and it went away, and then she had hip surgery on that same hip in January.
Mm-hmm.
She's been doing wonderfully. She's been pain-free with no pain in her hip at all for 4 months, and now within the last few days, she started having a lot of severe pain. Now, she did have some acupuncture done today. I haven't talked to her with the results about that, but the pain for her, and she's very small. I mean, she eats very, very healthy, takes a lot of herbs, and, very healthy.
Okay. So the pain is in the area, is in the right side of the hip or left side?
It's in the left hip.
It's in the left hip, and she has some acupuncture done. Now, has she had any work done? Has she been to like a DO? Has she tried one of those physicians yet?
I know she lives in Florida half the year, and I know when I visit her she was doing a little bit of chiropractic.
She went to a chiropractor. Okay.
Yeah.
So chiropractic it can be good. I think a better way for her to go, and this is just a thought, and I would run it by her, because the structural part of the body, the bones, muscles, nerves, in an issue with sciatica, it's definitely, it's so uncomfortable, and she needs to get some treatment and therapy. This is the route I would go. I would have her find a DO. It's a doctor of osteopathic medicine. Have them evaluate it, have them look at it, and then partner up with a physical therapist. So some physical therapy can be really, really great. And I've seen for sciatic pain, it can be really great. I mean, it's a great treatment system. They can do probably 6 weeks worth of treatment and get her into a place where she's completely pain-free. The body can handle that very well. And then also vitamin E, 400 IUs a day can be helpful. And, of course, you're going to get her on the cod liver oil, a tablespoon a day, because it's going to help lower inflammation throughout the body. And it's going to help her overall. Now, here's the deal. With sciatic nerve pain, with the piriformis muscle, it's a little muscle that goes over that real big nerve in the hip. Minerals are important, too, in the body. Calcium and magnesium are going to be important. If she'll take that at bedtime, both of those, it'll help tremendously. And tell her to get a blood test so that her vitamin D levels are at a good place. So maybe 70 to 90 on a blood test is what we need to be looking for. All right, thanks for the call. And thanks for getting started on everything. That's so great. Close to 28 pounds. That is incredible. Great weight loss, but more than that, you gained your health, and that's what it's all about. 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with right now? There's always hope every single day to get back what you've lost. Let's go now to Chad. Hi, Chad. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
Living well, man. How can I help?
About a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with a generalized anxiety disorder. I was given Zoloft as the first course of treatment. Didn't work. I actually wound up in the hospital, and they decided to put me on Prestique, and they gave me a Xanax prescription to use as needed. It has seemed to work over the last year and a half, but I kind of want to come off of it at some point, and just trying to see what can I do to reduce my anxiety levels to where I don't have to rely on the medication anymore.
What milligram are you taking with Xanax?
0.5, but it's as a needed basis. I may take one a month if I feel a panic attack coming on, but that's about it.
Yeah, I got it. All right, that's good. Well, the good news is you're not addicted to it. That's the great news, because so many people are, and it's just it's not a bad medication, but it can be highly addictive. So it's great that you're not. Now, what happens with anxiety is there's a neurotransmitter called Gaba. Okay, it's called gamma-aminobutyric acid. It's the one that when it gets low in our body, means you get deficient in GABA, then you feel anxiety, you feel anxious. And it's pretty simple to get built back up. And there's certain foods you have to avoid to get your GABA levels back where they need to be. And they're probably foods you eat every single day. So let's go through the list, and then you tell me, really if it's something that you need to avoid. So peanuts, walnuts, hazelnuts, almonds, cheese, these are the kind of foods you need to avoid. All right, oatmeal, wheat, rice, salmon, spinach, and beans. So all those food groups are foods that you need to completely avoid to keep GABA levels at a good level, because remember, if it dips down, you're going to have anxiety, panic attacks, and all the other stuff. So these are foods that you would think would be healthy, but they're foods that actually negatively affect GABA levels. Now, if you get into my diet, the anti-inflammatory diet, the one that's in my book, Empowering Your Health, if you start using that and applying that, you'll notice that a lot of these foods are not in there. Now, some of them are, like almonds and hazelnuts and walnuts, salmon, but you just want to make sure you avoid those. You've got, so many other foods you can eat. These are just the ones you need to avoid. Supplements that are going to be really important for GABA to keep them stabilized: L-theanine, which is an amino acid, L-taurine, and then valerian root. All of those are important. Valerian root, you want to be careful with that. Only take that at bedtime, because it'll really put you in kind of a sedated state. It's the closest thing to a natural Xanax that we have, and it's so you can use it, if you want to now, but I would use it on a regular basis, remember, because we're looking at long-term. We're not looking at Band-Aids. We want to come up with a long-term plan to keep your GABA levels where they need to be. So the theanine, the taurine, the valerian root, that's all going to put you in a place where you need to be. So why don't you get started and always let me know, because anxiety is something a lot of people deal with, so you're not kind of definitely not in this bubble by yourself. But one thing you want to do is not call it yours. I heard you when you said, hey, my anxiety this and my anxiety that. Don't call it yours. Your car, your house, your dog, your family, you want to call that yours? That's cool. I'll take that. But my anxiety, you don't want to keep it. You want to get rid of it. That's why you're talking to me right now. So it's the anxiety that you've been dealing with. No problem. You can deal with something. You can have a health challenge and you can overcome it. It's all semantics, but it really does make a difference, because what we say to ourselves, our mental train of thought, our self-talk, as we like to say, it becomes reality. So you got to watch that. Just be careful with it. But get started on that. Let me know how it goes. 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with right now? Got a health challenge? You want to talk about it? Anxiety, depression, your big toe hurts, you got migraine headaches, been diagnosed with cancer, and they told you it's stage 4, and you don't know what to do. It's okay. Remember, the body can get sick. It can also get well. You're not stuck. Your diagnosis doesn't have to be your prognosis. You can change if you come up with some common sense principles to be able to do that. Remember, radical changes equal radical results with our health. The question to you is, and it always will be on this show, is do you want to get well? And what I mean is, do you willing to do whatever it takes, no matter how hard it might be? So if you're listening to the show, you're sticking your toe in the water. What's this? It's a guy talking about. We're talking about health, because your health is your greatest wealth, and we want to empower you to get your health from where you are right now to where you need to be. 888-283-7272. Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Raisa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
From where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. The body changes every single day. Remember that. So if you want to change, you can, and you can change your health. Your health really is your greatest wealth, but you've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to make changes within your life. And sometimes it can be tough. I know that. I get it. It can. But the reality is, if you make some changes in your life, then you can see some radical results with your health. And not only for you, but for friends, family members, coworkers, loved ones, they need to be able to see that you can radically change things within your life and within your health. A study came out talking about marathons. There's always a big debate between people that run marathons. Is it good for their health? Is it bad? We talk a lot about exercise and how long should you exercise for, and is it tough on the body? Is it too hard on the body? Well, there's a lot of different thoughts out there on that. And they did a new study and talking about marathons. It's actually safe for older runners. And when it comes to your heart health, don't let age alone, this is the article here, make you reluctant to run a marathon. Researchers have found that amateur runners over the age of 50 and as old as 72 experience some temporary heart changes, but no lasting damage after on average 26-mile runs. The results are comforting for older runners, said the study head, Dr. Kniebel. He said it was a cardiologist at the Medical Clinic of Cardiology at the University of Medicine in Berlin. He said the same pattern was observed in younger runners. He said, reported the findings at the annual meeting of the European Society of Cardiology. The study involved 167 runners, and what they did, they were on the average of 50 years of age, and they participated in the study. And the doctors examined them 10 days before a race, which is a 26-mile race. And as soon as they crossed the finish line, and 2 weeks after the race, they were monitored. And their heart rates are what showed the changes. Now, there's big fancy words that they use, but some of the peptides that were in the heart that they monitored, as far as which could show potential damage to the heart and all of that, they actually didn't show any damage. So the troponin, which is a big marker that's used for heart damage, potential heart attacks, if you're actually having a heart attack in midstream, they can actually figure that out. Now it's one of the tests, but they actually found that those levels were all fine. So even after a 26-mile run, which took quite a bit of time and stress on the body, these guys were doing great, and gals. So people that were over 50, ranging from 50 to 72, they did this study. So the good news is that if you're into running, it's good for your heart, and it's good for your health, and it's not going to tear you down. So if your cardiologist tells you that you don't need to be running, maybe show them that study, because the study actually is really good. And the exercise component for our overall health plays such a big role. And by getting into that, making sure that you're making the right decision and exercising on a regular basis, 30 minutes a day minimum, 5 days a week, you're only improving your health. You're not hindering it. 888-283-7272. Let's go to Patricia. Hi, Patricia.
Hello.
How can I help, darling?
Yes, I have tinnitus in my right side, right ear, and it is very high-pitched, and I have had it for 5 years, and it is almost constantly. And I have so much anxiety from the noise that I'm on Xanax for that, and I cannot sleep at night for the noise. I'm on Ambien for that.
All right, so the Ambien you're taking just because of the noise, you're keeping
because I cannot go to sleep
because of the noise. Have you tried the white noise by putting fans and things and air purifiers in the room?
I actually have a pillow that I plug into the radio, and I will put the radio on static to try to match the noise as much as I can. I sleep on that. Okay,
I got it. So it's in the right ear?
Right ear.
Okay, it's been going on for how long?
5 years. I was working at the time, and I got up to go to work one morning, and when I put my feet on the floor, the noise started. And I struggled with work for a couple of months. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. It was just taking over my life, and I ended up quitting my job, and a lot of other things have happened to me since then, but I'm still struggling with this. I mean, struggling.
Yeah, I understand. Well, here's the deal. Have you cut out all wheat products from your diet completely? All flour-based foods? Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't.
Okay. That's the first thing you want to do. Wheat allergies to the body, one of the first things that you want to do is you want to cut out wheat. And I mean bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, anything with flour in it, because they're all going to have a wheat base to it for the most part. And you can go back and do gluten-free products and gluten-free breads later, but not right now. Right now, you want to get into a place where you're actually just getting rid of it. And I would eliminate it for about a good 8 weeks. Now, getting rid of the ringing in the ear is not going to happen in 3 days. So this is one of those things where you're going to want to eliminate all wheat product foods from your diet for at least a good 8 weeks and then see how your body responds. Everybody's different, but for the norm, for the average, if it's not permanent damage, it should begin to resolve if it has a strong allergic component to it. So just know, I mean, that's very common. Right ear only, and you have chronic tinnitus like that, it typically is from wheat allergy. And so you just want to come off of those. And you can go gluten-free later, but for right now, do that. Also, what can be helpful is vitamin B1, which is thiamine pyrophosphate. That and NADH. NADH is a version of vitamin B3, which is niacin, but don't take niacin. It's a totally different version from that, and that can be very helpful. So those are a couple things that can help. And I just want to encourage you to not get discouraged. I know it's easy to, but get started and see how your body responds. People respond very well to that.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Cup of cantaloupe provides about 112% of the daily value for vitamin C, which of course is great for our immune system, protects against free radicals, and also increases the white cells in our body, which fight infection. Cantaloupe folate content is important for the production and maintenance of new cells, especially during pregnancy. So ladies, if you're pregnant, eat up on the cantaloupe. Cantaloupe's also beneficial for the following illnesses: fever, obesity, rheumatism, arthritis, skin diseases, constipation, high blood pressure, abdominal and stomach gas, blood deficiencies, disorders of the kidneys and bladder, and also may help prevent cancer in organs and glands with epithelial tissue due to its high vitamin A content. So for cantaloupe, something that we probably have in our refrigerators all the time, but we never think to eat it on a regular basis, you might want to consider eating it daily just to add all these great health benefits to your already, I'm sure, healthy regimen that you're following each and every day. And I know that following the anti-inflammatory diet that's in my book, Empowering Your Health, is a great way to start. Cantaloupe is one of the fruits that you can always add into it later on. Let's go now to Chuck. Hey, Chuck, what's up?
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
You got it.
Okay, a week ago, Monday, I was in the hospital getting my blood test, and my blood pressure went to 59 over 64, and they let me rest up, and my pressure came back. And they didn't do anything more to it, but they tried to say I need to be looked at. But that's about all they said. Now, today, it happened again today, but I wasn't at the hospital. It's about 64. Yeah, about 64, and barely up to that. But anyway.
So your blood pressure, let me get this right. Your blood pressure's running quite low.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Really
right?
low.
And so 60. They're telling you, your doctors.
Pardon?
Your doctors are telling you that they don't really know what the deal is, right? They just kind of sent you home.
Yeah. But when they take the blood test, they always come back. They say, well, it's normal. And I say, well, if that's normal, why am I abnormal?
Right. And that's the point. See, the reality is that your blood pressure, with it dipping up and down like that, usually has to do with stress and has to do with the body's adrenal glands. So if the adrenal glands get weak, then it can start causing issues with the blood pressure. Now, did this come out of nowhere, or did it slowly start coming on?
They've had just out of nowhere, and just I can't get anything done. I even wanted to write a letter, and I couldn't even write a letter today with a hoot because my mental capacity was not there, and it was to IRS.
What medications are you taking right now?
Pardon?
What medications are you taking?
Okay, I'm not taking any medication, but I'm taking that olive oil, castor oil, and niacin, and another one that you use, cod liver oil.
Yeah, the cod liver oil.
And but.
Well, this is what I would do. Let me just tell you what my thoughts are on it. My thoughts are this: first, you want to come off the niacin, because the niacin is a dilator, and it's going to make your blood pressure even worse. It's going to make it lower. So you don't want to do that. Actually, what you would want to take is vitamin B1, which is thiamine pyrophosphate. Thiamine pyrophosphate was the way you want to go, and that can help slightly raise the blood pressure. Licorice root can help as well, and help get things where they need to be. I would use either chicken stock or beef stock and get at least 16 ounces of that in every single day. The natural sodium levels that occur in there will raise up your blood pressure a little bit and get you feeling better. Once you get it bumped up a little bit more, you're going to feel like a new man. And it's going to be important. You definitely need to focus on getting and using some of these factors to help raise up that blood pressure. And once you do that, you let me know. Now, I would start following the anti-inflammatory diet, the one in my book, Empowering Your Health, to get started with. But definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, you got to take some of those things that I listed, like the B1 and whatnot, to raise that blood pressure up so you can feel better. Your energy levels will come up. You'll come up. And now let's go to Donna. Hey, Donna, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Living well, darling. How can I help?
I'm dealing with obesity, like 300 pounds, and I am really struggling with it. I'm a vegetarian. I've also been raw. I just can't see. I lose the weight. I don't have health insurance now. At one time, I got my thyroids and everything checked, and that was fine. I'm just really dealing with eating the right things, doing the right things to get energy and stuff.
All right. So you're weighing about, what, 300 pounds, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And you're what? How tall?
5'9".
Okay. So you got to drop some weight, and your game plan needs to be, number one, the things you put inside your body, right? So the food
right.
is your best medicine. So we know that has to change. So before we get into, I start reeling off things for you to be able to do. What put you in this place in the first place? What put you in this position?
I got 7 kids.
Okay.
And
well, because you had 7 kids.
Yeah, and I just picked up weight over the years with the pregnancy and stress, depression, stuff like that.
Okay. Now, with the 7 kids, so you'd have okay, I got it. Now, so you have 7 beautiful kids, and now you're in a place where for you to be able to take care of them, you got to take care of you, right?
Right.
Right. So you can't be stuck in this body anymore, which is like a prison right now.
That's right.
So we got to get out from behind the bars, and we got to make it happen. So the question is, it's do you want to get well? And obviously it's yes. But then the second question is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Now that's going to be tough because you got to think about now. If you got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning and work out and exercise, then you just got to make it happen. Or if it's in the afternoon at 3:30 when all the kids have a place to be, or you can put them in wherever. I don't know how old they are, but what their ages are. But if they got to be in a nursery or whatever, you got to take some you time and get your workout in and exercise every single day, no matter what. No excuses. It's not cold outside, raining, sleeting, tired today. There's no excuses. See, and that's the difference. Because if you start putting your hand to the plow, no different than if you eat a bunch of food, bad stuff, over a year's time and you're consistent with it, you're going to gain weight, you're going to get fat, and you're going to be in a place that you don't want to be. So It's the opposite. You want to get healthy. You want to bring health back to yourself. You want to drop weight. You want to have more energy. You want to be a better mother for your kids. You start focusing on that, and it's going to be easy to make those daily decisions in order to get your health where it needs to be.
Okay.
All right. So that's where you need to focus. You start focusing on that, and it's going to get you exactly where you need to be. And it's tough. Don't get me wrong, Donna. It's tough. But once you have a made-up mind, there's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. And getting to a point where your kids are so important that you're thinking about them, that it's driving you, it's pushing you. That's where you want to be. Exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Let me tell you something, at your weight, so it's easy on the joints, easy on the knees. Treadmills are good, but also mini trampolines are really good. So you go to urbanrebounder.com, and they're about $100. But urbanrebounder.com, and they're phenomenal. You can go 5 minutes a day up to 20 minutes a day. It's great for blood pressure. It's great for fat loss, great for circulation. There's so many great things that come out of rebounding, that mini trampoline. It's great for exercise. It's unbelievable. And it's cheap and inexpensive, and you can do it at home. So, see, that's what I'm saying. You go out and walk. Whatever you decide to do, there's no excuses for you not getting your workout in that day to take care of you and take care of your health. So just keep me posted on everything, Donna. You're going to do great. Just because you're overweight, just because you had 7 kids, which I think is amazing, by the way, it doesn't mean that you can't get your health back. I mean, your body can regenerate. It can. But you have to be willing to generate. It's kind of like your mind has to regenerate. You got to regenerate your thinking, and everything else will fall in line. Let's go now to Bill. Hey, Bill. Good to talk to you,
let me tell you what's going on with me. I'm a 61-year-old man. I've got degenerative disc disease in my back. I'm fighting anxiety. I have that really bad. They've got me on methadone, which I take 7 times a day. Also, I take gabapentin because I have at night my legs, both my right and my left leg, almost feel like they're on fire. Both knees are shot. They have to be replaced. I'm going through a lot of depression. I lost my business about 2 years ago. And that's about what I'm going through. And I want to know, when I take the Xanax for my anxiety, boy, that really knocks me out for 2 days, 2 or 3 days.
What milligram are you taking?
I'm sorry?
What milligram are you taking of Xanax?
Oh, it's only a 0.5 milligram.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the methadone is, and I'm getting to a point now that the anxiety, my business was with the military, and there's a lot of stress in it, and when I get even low on methadone, I'm so hooked on this methadone now that I go and I have a anxiety attack because I'm low on methadone. What can I do? The doctors tell me that there's nothing they can do with my back, and I've got a doctor now, and the only thing he treats me with is for my anxiety is the Xanax. But
hang tight for a second, Bill. We're going to talk about anxiety, chronic pain, and how they relate, and how to get out of it and get your body balanced when we come out of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Bill's been dealing with some issues with anxiety, taking Xanax, of course, and just puts him out for like 2 days. And then, of course, having chronic pain and dealing with that. So I was talking to you a little bit. You were kind of wanting to know how to get balanced out as far as not having taken, obviously pain medications, but also how it interferes with anxiety, correct? So
right.
The two kind of go hand in hand with you.
I think so, yeah. And all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of depression, and I know it's caused by, the loss of the business, trying to keep my house and the rest of it. But the doctors, I don't have insurance. I lost my insurance, and I'm limited on where I can go. And the only doctor that I see now, the only thing he does is hand out pills. So, and I don't think all three of the mix of the methadone, the gabapentin, and the Xanax is good for me.
No, it's not long term. It's not long term. Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I'm getting right now that I get. The gabapentin helps for sleep. I can get through a full night without the numbness or the burning in the legs, but long term, I know that's not the answer. What can I do?
All right, there's a couple things you can do. Now, the burning in the legs, let's go there first so we can knock that out. You want to use pyridoxine. Pyridoxine is B6. Now, B6 comes in a couple of different versions, and you want to go with pyridoxine. It is textbook for the burning in the legs and potential neuropathies in any capacity. High levels, you can do like 2,000 milligrams twice a day, and whatever your body doesn't use, the B vitamins are water soluble, so you'll just urinate it right out. So those are a couple things that'll be real helpful. Now, when you're looking at the pain itself, I would focus on serotonin. The Xanax focuses on GABA. It's a neurotransmitter. It's my thought to you that now the depression and things you're talking about, the lack of sleep, the gabapentin, even though it's keeping you asleep, it's not really affecting the right brain chemical. Okay, serotonin is what you really want to affect and what you want to balance. That's the one that's low with you right now. So the foods that will help: mushrooms, fish, chicken, spinach, red meat, and turkey. Those are the foods that are going to help tremendously build up your serotonin levels naturally. Because again, it's not about putting a Band-Aid on it. You don't want something temporary. You want something that is lasting. So the mushrooms, fish, chicken, spinach, red meat, and turkey, eat those on a regular basis. And then supplements that are really, really good. Now, with what you're taking right now, these should not interfere, but you can do 5-hydroxytryptophan before bedtime, about 100 milligrams 30 minutes before bed. And then also B12 methylcobalamin. There's different versions of B12. But you always want to go with methylcobalamin. It's the best one for what you're dealing with. And then, of course, St. John's wort. Now, St. John's wort, you got to be careful with it. You want to do a very low amount, the minimum that's on the label, and you want to do it at bedtime. And that's going to start building up as serotonin levels, which is going to start getting you set. Your brain chemistry is going to feel more stable, and you should start sleeping better. So when you start sleeping better and you notice a major difference with that, you'll know your serotonin levels are coming back up. Now, if you had to do a slight antidepressant such as that works on serotonin, such as Zoloft or some of those, then, even Prozac, but some of those medications, it's not the end of the world if you have to do a little bit for a short period of time. I'm a big fan. If you got to do it, you got to get in, you got to get out. But while you're in, you've got to start building other areas around your body so you can get to the root cause and get it working the way it used to. So even though you're going through a bunch of life stressors right now, still, it's a place where you really can come out and be stronger on the other side. So that's what you would do. I would do everything you can to eliminate every ounce of inflammation in your body, because it's going to flare up any type of pain when you have inflammation. So get maybe a copy of my book, Empowering Your Health, and follow the anti-inflammatory diet that's in there. It'll be a great way for you to cut down on inflammation, increase your body's ability to recover, and you may be able to cut down on your pain meds. White willow bark is really good. It's a good alternative to a lot of the pain medications. You can start using that along with the others for certain, and then potentially talk with your doctor through this process and maybe start to wean down and see if some of these principles have helped, and so you're not so addicted. And of course, when you come off, or you start to come off, it can be kind of painful and difficult. So just make sure you have people to walk with you through this whole process. But the gabapentin and that sort of thing that you're taking for sleep, that should be able to be eliminated. Once you get serotonin levels where it needs to be, your sleep patterns should not be difficult at all. Matter of fact, a lot of times when people are having sleep issues, the first thing that is prescribed are antidepressants. So they go hand in hand. When the brain chemistry gets off, then everything gets off. It just doesn't work as well as it needs to. The Xanax, let me just give you a little word of wisdom on that. You got the 0.5 milligram, break it in half and go to the 0.025 milligram. And only do it sparingly. Don't do it every day. You just can't. You just don't. Do your best not to do it every day because they are addictive. It's like we were talking about. And you need to be in a place where you're not controlled by a drug. And you control it, but it doesn't control you. And, man, that's just a key with your health. And that is all the way around, especially when you're dealing with panic attacks, you're dealing with back pain like you are, and you're feeling like pain meds is what you're going to be on the rest of your life. It's not. You're not stuck there. And don't believe that you are. There's so many ways to get out, and we'll do whatever we can to support you, work with your doctors, all that kind of stuff here on the show. I know you don't have health insurance, but these are things you can do. You can go to your health food store. You can get some of the supplements. You can go to the supermarket, buy these foods, and start eating them and applying them to your life. Puts another hour in the charts. I'd like to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, John Garrison, Leslie Pardue, and the rest of the team. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities.
Did you know you could listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the ASA RX audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.